star stuff. Welcome to the Spaced Out ASMR channel. I'm Jay, and I am going to help you get to sleep by reading to you about some of the incredible things in our night sky. Tonight, I am so excited that you're here because I am going to be telling you about the total solar eclipse that is going to be making its way across North America on April the 8th of this year, 2024. So, tonight, I am going to help you figure out when and if you'll be able to see the solar eclipse, where you can locate the eye protection you'll need to watch the solar eclipse, as well as what you can expect to see when you're watching a solar eclipse. So, if you're as jazzed as I am about the solar eclipse, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so first I need to explain what a solar eclipse is. Sometimes, as the moon orbits Earth, the moon moves between the sun and Earth. When this happens, the moon blocks light from the sun from reaching Earth. This causes an eclipse of the sun, or a solar eclipse. During a solar eclipse, the moon casts a shadow onto the Earth. There are three main types of solar eclipses. Number one, the total solar eclipse. A total solar eclipse is visible from a small area on the Earth. The people who see the total eclipse are in the center of the moon's shadow. The sky becomes very dark, as if it were night. For a total eclipse to occur, the sun, moon, and Earth must be in a direct line. Number two, the partial solar eclipse. This happens when the sun, moon, and Earth are not exactly aligned. The sun appears to have a dark shadow on a small part of its surface. Number three, the annular solar eclipse. An annular eclipse happens when the moon is farthest from the Earth. Because the moon is farther away, it seems smaller, but does not block the entire view of the sun. The moon in front of the sun looks like a dark disk on top of a sun-colored disk. This creates what looks like a ring around the moon. Solar eclipses happen once every 18 months, somewhere on Earth. Unlike lunar eclipses, solar eclipses last for only a few minutes. Scientists use solar eclipses as an opportunity to study the sun's corona. The corona is the sun's top layer. During an annular eclipse, NASA uses ground and space instruments to view the corona when the moon blocks the sun's glare. So now I am going to tell you how you can find out when and where you need to be to see the solar eclipse. So on this map over here, this is the Eclipse Explorer available on the NASA website. There is a 3D render of the eclipse that is much more fun to play around with on the Eyes on the Solar System website. However, for our purposes, this is perfect. This is just the tool we need. Anyway, this band that you see that goes across Canada, the US, and Mexico, that is where the eclipse will be visible at totality. and the farther away you get from the band, the less of the eclipse that you will be able to see. So on this tool over here, you see this arrow down here in the bottom left. If you click that, you will find a menu where you can enter in your zip code. Now, I don't want to enter in my zip code, but using this tool, I was able to find out that the city where I live, I will be able to see the eclipse at 96%, which isn't totality, but it's still pretty good. There are a few cities like Paducah, Kentucky, Cleveland, Ohio, and Little Rock, Arkansas, that will be able to see the eclipse at totality. I know Little Rock has been going hard on their advertising. They've been advertising hotels on the Star Talk podcast, so if that's something you can swing, it might be worth it. I know I'm just going to be watching the eclipse from my college campus, so I guess it's whatever you can do. Now on to glasses and safety. Down in the description box below, there is a link to a page that contains a list of manufacturers that make eclipse safe glasses. You can use any of the websites on that page to order your eclipse glasses. It is very, very, very important that you do not get glasses from an online retailer like Amazon or Temu. Those sites host independent sellers, so there's no way that those websites can guarantee that the glasses that you're getting are not counterfeit or that those glasses are safe. It's really not worth it if you go to these websites and end up with a pair of fake eclipse glasses. There is going to be another eclipse in the future, but not if you're blind. So, if you are out shopping and you are at a major retailer like Kroger or Publix or Walmart, those glasses are safe to purchase. Generally, these glasses that are sold at major retailers are safe to purchase because, those retailers are generally responsible for the merchandise they sell, and nobody likes to get sued. So, if you are in one of these retailers and you come across some eclipse glasses, go ahead and get them, because I remember in 2017, that was the last time there was a visible eclipse in my area. The eclipse glasses sold out. There was a shortage for I think for about 2 weeks leading up to the eclipse. Yeah, go ahead and get the glasses if you see them. If you're not going to use them, kindly give them to someone who will. When watching the partial phases of the solar eclipse directly with your eyes, which happens before and after totality, you must look through safe solar viewing glasses, known as eclipse glasses, or safe handheld solar viewer at all times. Eclipse glasses are not regular sunglasses. Regular sunglasses, no matter how dark, are not safe for viewing the sun. Safe solar viewers are thousands of times darker. Always inspect your eclipse glasses or handheld viewer before use. If torn, scratched, or otherwise damaged, discard the device. Always supervise children using their solar viewers. Do not look at the sun through a camera lens, telescope, or binoculars, or any other optical device while wearing eclipse glasses or using a handheld solar viewer. The concentrated solar rays will burn through the filter and cause serious eye injury. So, I just want to drive this point home. I have a pair of regular sunglasses here. I can put them over my camera, and you can still see me. It's kind of dim, but you can still see me. I have an eclipse filter, or an eclipse viewer, an eclipse lens to go over my phone. That way I can record the eclipse. I'm going to put that over my camera. can't see anything. It is so important that you get the right kind of glasses. I got these glasses from Kroger the last time I went, and I believe they cost me all of $1.99. So these are fairly cheap. Just the next time you're out grocery shopping, keep an eye out. They're usually right beside the checkout counter. Just pick some up the next time you go grocery shopping. So this next little bit is pretty much verbatim from the NASA website. So if you would like to learn more, please check out the links in the description box below. There are several distinct stages of a total solar eclipse that observers can watch for. You must not remove your eclipse glasses until the moon has completely covered the sun, the portion of the eclipse known as totality. Alright, this is a partial solar eclipse, and it is one of several stages of a solar eclipse. The caption on this photo reads, "A partial solar eclipse emerges from behind the United States Capitol on June 10th, 2021, as seen from Arlington, Virginia. The annular or ring of fire solar eclipse was only completely visible in Greenland, northern Russia, and Canada." This photo was taken by Bill Ingalls. So in this picture is just gorgeous, right? Because you're used to seeing a crescent moon. Very rarely do you ever see a crescent depiction of the sun. And I guess with this you can see the moon in front of the sun, and it makes almost a perfect half circle. But then you have the rest of the sun coming out from behind the moon, and it makes that perfect crescent image of a sun. I think that's really wild. I mean, this says that it's a photograph. I wonder if it's been touched up or if the sky is really that vibrant red color on the partial eclipse as the moon passes between the sun and Earth. At first, it does not completely cover the sun. The sun appears to have a crescent shape. For most locations, the partial eclipse phase will last between 70 and 80 minutes. You must wear your eclipse glasses when viewing the sun during the partial eclipse phase. The moment the moon first touches the sun is also called first contact. Okay, I apologize for the image quality here. I did try to find a good image of what are called shadow bands, but shadow bands are very difficult to photograph, so you'll just have to bear with me with this tiny photo for now. I did, however, find some really good information and a video on shadow bands on the NASA website for the 2017 eclipse. From what I can tell, shadow bands look like the wavy bits of sunlight that are being reflected on the floor of a swimming pool. If you know that kind of shape. Shadow bands are very thin, wavy lines of alternating light and dark that can be seen moving and undulating in parallel on plane-colored surfaces immediately before and after a total solar eclipse. Shadow bands have been noted throughout history. Many ideas have been proposed to explain them over the last 100 years, but since 1925, most investigators favor an atmospheric origin. Because shadow bands are unpredictable from eclipse to eclipse, instead, the intensity, motion, and direction of these bands seems to be related to the same phenomenon that make the stars twinkle. In the upper atmosphere, there are turbulent cells of air that act like lenses to focus and defocus the sharp-edged light from the solar surface just before totality. The movement of these atmospheric cells is random between each eclipse and each viewing location, so the appearance and movement of these shadow bands can not be predicted beforehand. So that's shadow bands up here. So the next stage of a total solar eclipse that I would like to tell you about is called Bailey's beads. And you can see that in this picture up here in the upper right hand corner. In this picture, you can see the moon, that dark circle in the middle, and then you've got a thin line of light around the moon. And I highly doubt you can see it from this picture because it's so small, but I implore you to go look for images like this on your own, because there is a thin pink line around the moon that is barely visible. And in the light around the moon, in this bottom left-hand corner, you can see just beads of light. And those are Bailey's beads. Bailey's beads appear as the moon makes its final move over the sun during the total solar eclipse. This picture was taken on August 21st, 2017, above Madras, Oregon. This picture was taken by Aubrey Gimignani. As the moon continues to move across the sun, several points of light shine out from around the moon's edges, known as Bailey's beads. These are light rays from the sun streaming through the valleys along the moon's horizon. Bailey's beads are very short-lived and may not last long enough to be noticeable to all observers of the total solar eclipse. Here in the upper right-hand corner, this is a picture of a diamond ring, or one of the stages of a total solar eclipse. The diamond ring effect occurred as the beginning and the end of totality during a total solar eclipse. As the last bits of sunlight pass through the valleys of the moon's limb, the faint corona around the sun is just becoming visible. It looks like a ring with glittering diamonds on it. This picture was taken by someone named Carla Thomas. Bailey's beads will begin to disappear until eventually only a single bright spot will remain along the edge of the moon's shadow. This bright spot resembles the diamond in a giant diamond ring formed by the rest of the sun's atmosphere. Totality is almost here, but keep those eclipse glasses on. I really like this picture. There's more going on in this picture, I think, than you would first recognize at first glance, because it has everything going on with it that Bailey's beads would, right? But there's like the moon in the very middle, and then there is the light from the sun on the outside. But then at the top, at the very top, that used to be one of Bailey's beads, but it's shining very bright, and there's these little rays of sunshine coming off of the top of it. And I think that's just gorgeous. Isn't it odd that it really does kind of look like a diamond ring? Okay, this is it. This is totality. This image was taken on August 21st, 2017 in Madras, Oregon. This picture was taken by someone named Nat Gopalswamy. Once the diamond ring disappears and there is no longer any direct sunlight, you may remove your eclipse glasses and look at the total eclipse safely with the naked eye. This moment is also called second contact. During totality, viewers may be able to see the chromosphere, a region of the solar atmosphere appearing as a thin circle of pink around the moon, and the corona, the outer solar atmosphere, appearing as streams of white light. Be vigilant to protect your eyes and put your eclipse glasses back on before totality ends. Totality may last only a minute or two in some locations. During totality, take a few seconds to observe the world around you. You may be able to see a 360-degree sunset. Look, I know you love a sunset. I know that because you're here listening to me talk about the eclipse. There are several videos on YouTube of a 360-degree sunset that take place during a solar eclipse. You have to look them up sometime. I mean, they are just brilliant. Our reality has some truly brilliant moments sometimes. You may also be able to see some particularly bright stars or planets in the darkened sky. The air temperature will drop and often an eerie silence will settle around you. It is also worth stealing a peek at the people around you. Many people have a deep emotional response when the sun goes into totality. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm probably one of those people that gets emotional. Regular sunsets can make me emotional sometimes, but they are right about the eerie silence. I remember during the 2017 eclipse, when it became dark, the crickets were chirping. It was almost, I mean, it really was. It was almost magical. So in this picture of totality, there is the moon, and that is the dark spot in the center. But then on the outside, there is that thin pink chromosphere that they were talking about. And like in the previous picture, it is very difficult to see in this picture. You would probably have to seek out one of these pictures yourself and zoom in, because it is this pink line is so fine. But on the outside of that pink line is the corona, and I feel like on first glance most people don't notice just how much detail there is in the corona. I think they probably just see like a hazy glow, but there are lines in the corona. There are wavy lines that work their ways around the circle, that work their way around the edge of the moon, and that's just amazing. I think I'm probably going to have to do a video on heliophysics one day. That's about the sun. Alrighty, we are getting close to the end. Brightening reappears as the moon continues to move across the face of the sun. You will begin to see brightening on the opposite side from where the diamond ring shone at the beginning. This is the lower atmosphere of the sun beginning to peek out from behind the moon, and it is your signal to stop looking directly at the eclipse. Make sure your eclipse glasses are back on, or you're otherwise watching the eclipse through a safe, indirect method before first flash of sunlight appears around the edges of the moon. This moment is called third contact. Third contact. Third contact. And then all of the stages reappear in reverse. Diamond ring, Bailey's beads, and then shadow bands again. Once your eyes are protected again, you may continue to watch the first stages of the eclipse. As the end process mirrors the beginning, you will again see the diamond ring, Bailey's beads, and shadow bands before the entire sun is visible. Fourth contact is the moment that none of the sun is covered by the moon's shadow. This is when the eclipse is completely over, but most likely you will have already packed up your things and began planning your next eclipse adventure. Okay, star stuff. I think that's all I have on the upcoming eclipse. As you can tell, I'm hyped. I'm hoping to get footage of this eclipse and maybe do a post-eclipse episode. This event is huge for me, so let me know about your plans for watching the eclipse. I know I've been gone for a little while, but I think I've come to this realization that if ASMR is a hobby and I'm not doing it to get paid, then I really don't need to do a video every week. I can put out a video whenever I feel like it or whenever my schedule allows. Honestly, one of my biggest draws to this platform is interacting with other insomniacs. I'm getting ready to upload a vlog to my vlog channel that's more for me, so that in the future I can look back at my journey through college. But if you're curious, you are more than welcome to come check it out. I would like to thank you for spending some of your evening with me, and I really, really hope that I was able to get you to go to sleep. Yeah, I can't say thank you enough. You guys have been the best. I hope that if you are somewhere that you can see the eclipse, I hope it's everything that you want it to be, or at least I hope it's everything that I want it to be for you. And with that, I guess it's time for me to save this video and go to bed. So, peace and love.